I am free. At last I have broken the bonds that have chained me for so long. I am finally released from that accursed world and back where I belong. I am home. But now you who have been beside me for so long, should know the truth of how this came to pass. My mentor, the so-called Divine One, threw a terrible curse upon my young self. I was doomed to wander Nemesis for the rest of my days, unless my mentor or one of his followers wished me to leave. A group of paladins who had been hunting down one of my devoted Black Ring members would provide the key to my escape. My follower, a dark necromancer, took the risky decision to summon the demon overlord Samuel to his aid. This particular demon is as subtle as a battle axe and many times more deadly. He is, however, unquestionably stupid, a quality I've always found endearing in him, but this time he proved to be most useful. Samuel was as brutal as his reputation, and he killed all the paladins with ease. All apart from one, that is. Samuel always likes to take home a battlefield memento, and if that memento was still alive and kicking, then so much the better. It was this paladin who would provide the answer to freeing me from my prison. Samuel took that luckless character back to his citadel fortress on Nemesis, where he thought the paladin would make an ideal addition to his collection of pets, which he tortured and demoralized on a regular basis. It was then that a demon known as Asmodeus drew my attention to Samuel's new guest. Together, Asmodeus and I devised a plan to free me from Nemesis. Asmodeus broke the lock on the paladin's cell, and when they tried to escape, I was held responsible. All it took was a little convincing that soul forging would be an appropriate punishment. Weakened by the soul forging, both of us lapsed into unconsciousness. When I awoke, I freed myself from Samuel's primitive cell and killed the guards. The burning feeling in my head told me the soul forging had been successful. All that was left to do was for me to introduce myself to my new best friend, you. After I was first imprisoned on Nemesis, I spent much time with a race called the Renar, the elders of which had harnessed the ability to open rifts. Despite studying this rift running, my curse meant I could not just open a rift and travel through it. But if we could locate a Renar elder and travel through a rift together, the curse would be broken. Poor Samuel. It's not much fun being at the beck and call of a summoner, especially when you're a demon overlord and you've been made to leave a very promising torture session. But thankfully, Samuel was summoned away from us just in time. Otherwise, I would have been forced to reveal my real self and give him a good thrashing. I'm not sure what to make of my new companion. The relentless cheerfulness is somewhat irritating, but then it seems to work on some of the peons we've met. I have to admit a grudging respect for this paladin. They've aided me greatly in escaping the Citadel. Having to hold both my tongue and my form in the presence of the necromancer was even more difficult than it had been with Samuel. But I held firm, as I knew that his magic would help restore the crystal to its former glory, and when I had that in my hands again, my power would be complete. The Renar rebels seemed to be completely fooled by my disguise, the poor, gullible creatures. If only they knew who I really was, I doubt they'd be so accommodating. They are still just as proud and arrogant as I remember, and I've made a mental note to myself to let the demons know where this rebel group is hiding. Asmodeus was so desperate to get a look at how my companion and I were getting on that he invited us both to a meeting. I thought he was going to give me away, but he ended up presenting us with a doll of one of the Renar elders, my dear adopted sister. If we can break her curse, then she can open a rift for us. Ideally, I would have liked to avoid killing one of my most devoted followers, but unfortunately, he got in my way. With him out of the picture, it should clear the path to our goal. My companion's attempts to bond with me are almost touching, but this is not about making bonds, it's about breaking them, and I long to be free. It was most strange being back in the academy again. Asmodeus had clearly exploited my adopted sister's profound stupidity, and now the place was a tomb filled with familiar faces in spirit form. I was surprised that I felt absolutely no guilt when I saw them. I am not the boy I once was. The secret of riff running will soon be in my companion's hands. Although I already know how to use it, the power is useless to me in this world. I've almost gotten used to having this creature around. Perhaps I can show them the virtues of chaos in greater depth once we leave this world. The taste of freedom is sweet indeed. So many nights I have spent dreaming of destroying the one who imprisoned me, the one who extinguished the single candle of light in my life. I have become the darkness itself. Revenge will be mine.